And
what,
stop
like
texting.
5
You
minutes?
can no text.
I mean, I gotta tell them when we're supposed to get
No,
there.
stop! You're swerving. Look, Ryan, stop!
Battalion 1 is due to the scene of the car fire. 1st and Main and 1st. Battalion 1 due to the scene of the car fire.
Battalion 51 are out.
Mass received.
All right, Duke, I'm on the scene. I've got a two-vehicle accident involving a school bus and a passenger vehicle. It looks like there's some smoke showing, and I'm going to establish COD command, and we're going to be operating on Fireground Black.
Mass received. Battalion 51 has COD command. You have one vehicle under the school bus, smoke showing.
This year was our annual MCI drill that included the College of DuPage EMT students, Central DuPage Hospital paramedic students, and also the Edward Hospital paramedic students. We've also included the College of DuPage nursing program and radiology program.
So today we had an interesting mass casualty incident that the students were completely not expecting. It was a car versus a school bus. The accident was caused by a driver who was texting, and as a result of that there was a small fire in the car itself. The biggest challenge the students face is when they arrive on the scene, they are completely overwhelmed. And part of what we're striving for them to learn is how to work under that kind of pressure. It's not something that's easy to do. It's something that takes a lot of practice, a lot of training, and a lot of work.
So my role, I was the first ambulance on scene. I was lead, so I fell under the category of what you call triage officer. My role was to get everyone triaged, or help assist to get everyone triaged. You know, we red, more critical, your greens less critical, your yellows right in the middle. So my goal is to get them triaged and over to treatment. And some people it went great for, some it didn't. But that's going to happen in the MCI drill. And overall, I thought we did a pretty good job of getting our job done.
I was on Fire Engine 1 today, so we were the first engine on scene. Initially, we got here and we found David, our first ambulance on scene, our triage officer, and we said, "Where do you want us?" He said, "On the bus." So we spent pretty much the entire drill on the bus, triaging the patients, treating the patients, and then evacuating them from the bus.
Some of the problems that we saw were due mainly to the chaos. We tried something different this year. We aligned Central DuPage Hospital paramedic students with Edward Hospital paramedic students. So trying to work with somebody they've never met before was a huge problem. The chaos, what am I supposed to do, everything. So it was a really, really great learning tool.
It was difficult for sure, especially since a lot of the crews were, a CDH student, an Edward student, and then 2 EMT students. So, I was working with someone who I've maybe run across before, but never truly worked with in a medical setting. And it's kind of like, well, just gotta figure it out. And I know it was hard for me because I'm a leader, I want to be in charge, but he was in charge. So it's hard for me having to hold my tongue and step back. And yeah, I messed up a few times here and there, but that was probably a major learning part for me, is learning how to stay in my role, and that, stepping out of the role can cause more problems even when I'm trying to fix a problem.
So a mass casualty incident in the real world is something that's extremely high stress and presents itself as extremely chaotic. And today's scenario mimicked that to a high degree. And having that available for the students forced them to think on their feet and to have to make a judgment call on things that maybe they weren't comfortable with doing with their experience as far as textbook style patient care in the classroom.
It was a lot. We had a lot of patients in there. I think our final count, we had 4 red patients, 7 or 8 yellow patients, and then they got all the green patients out before I ended up on the bus. And it's really tight trying to move around because there was 4 of us in there, 2 medics, 2 EMTs, and a lot of patients, and there's really only that one aisle, so it's a lot of stepping on seats and bumping into each other, and then trying to carry patients out and slide them out on the backboard, and then you're taking them off the back of the bus, and you're trying not to drop them off the back of the bus, and trying to make sure we've got stretchers and headboards and C-collars and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of equipment juggling and patient juggling and just a lot of things to try and handle at once. Even though you have one job in this small space, you're still trying to deal with so many things at once.
Once the red patient is transferred over to the ambulance crew, they are driven over across the street to our SIM hospital, and then there's actual patient transfer from the paramedic and EMT students over to the nursing students.
So once our patients were brought over to the hospital, we had 3 simulated hospitals. There were nursing students in each area. to accept those patients and perform assessments on them, decide whether they needed to have higher level care, which required more x-rays, CT scans. Then our allied health radiology took over from there.
I had one patient at first, and there were a lot of CNAs in my room, so they all like swarmed to the bed and everyone's, you know, kind of panicking. And then we had a lull, and after that we had 3 patients arrive at the same time. So that was really cool, delegating to the CNAs to have each of them take a patient and then bouncing between them to try and get reports so that we could get them out of there. I thought it was a really unique experience. We don't really learn to delegate to the different disciplines until you're in practice. So this was, again, one of the first times that I've been able to actually try that, and it was really neat to work with everyone and get report from all these different people.
You don't get these situations all the time. Most of the calls that EMTs and paramedics run into on a daily basis are 1, maybe 2 people. A simple car versus car where you only have a couple of patients. It's not that often that a school bus gets into an accident, luckily, but when it does, you need to be able to know how to handle that stressful situation. And it may not be a school bus, it could be a tornado, it could be an earthquake, but it's still the same concept of treating a large amount of people in as short a period of time as possible.
So we are really, really lucky to have this facility available to us. Our EMT students work every day on this facility. It's just a wonderful resource to have the ambulance simulator, to be able to do stuff inside, out of the weather, but also to change conditions, to have darkness, to have smoke, to make things challenging. It really takes students out of their comfort level and really makes it more realistic to what they're going to see when they actually get out and they're working as an EMT or working as a paramedic.
I think it's very great for us, some of us have never been in a situation like this before, to just kind of get your feet wet and see what to kind of expect. And you know, if we ever do see it in the field, it will be even more hectic than this. So I think it was a great experience for all of us.
And I think it just gives a better sense of realism as opposed to like, okay, here's a classroom full of mannequins. You know, it's like, okay, you can kind of get a little more into it, feeling like this could actually be real.